Well, my name's Eric Enriquez. I come originally from Corpus Christi, Texas. Been in Denver though for a few years now, and that's when I started throwing. Professionally was out of Denver. I throw for Bad Axe Throwing, and I've been doing that for a year and a half now, and I absolutely love it. I've gotten to be one of the higher ups in the rankings in the leagues and stuff, which is really great feeling to be that in the company of some of these guys that are just phenomenal. But I love what I do. It's become my life in the past year and a half, which is I never thought a year and a half ago I'd be doing anything like this. I was just waiting tables, just getting by, and now I'm just loving life. I actually tried to go check out the axe throwing venue, Bad Axe Throwing, where I'm currently working at now in Denver, and the day that I had gone to go, they were actually closed. I found out later it was the day they were moving from a smaller to a bigger location. So at the time, didn't get to do it. And I was like, okay, we'll try another time. I saw an ad 2 days later. They were hiring for a coach, and at the time I was looking for a second job. So applied, did 2 interviews the next day, and then a week later I was working. And so my first time throwing an axe, I was already an employee, which was pretty wild. And it was fun. I did it part-time for a while and realized, man, this is great. That's a job that I would love to do. So I just came on full-time. And once I made that move, I realized there was a league. And so me being competitive, I was like, you know what, I want to try this out. So I got involved and started getting better. And here we are now. It's funny you asked that question, like what goals do I have coming in the weekend? Because I literally probably had that same conversation twice yesterday. And with one of my, I'll use the example, we had our regional tournament 2 nights ago, which I won, thankfully, good. And but I have a league member who is here this weekend. His name's Brandon, really good friend of mine now. But when he first kind of started, he came to me and was like, will you teach me one-on-one? Will you help me? I want to get better at this. And we just talked, and I helped him on his throw. We did that and this, and he's since then gotten so much better. He got knocked out of this last tournament, and he was still a little bummed about it. But I sat down and talked with him and told him, what I do is I don't focus on winning. Like, I need to win, and that's what everyone thinks. I want to be the winner, but you forget about this. You forget about your first match and the journey to get there. And so, when you forget about this stuff, it's easy to lose focus and not throw your best, and you're out. You're never going to get here. So what I told him is, what I do is I focus on just the journey. I focus on having fun. Another thing is I would like to be in the top 3, because if I feel I can get there, then I start to turn it on a little more and potentially win the whole thing. For this weekend specifically, I guess a goal would be get top 6 and then go from there. Because if you can get top 6, you make it to TV, you make it to the finals, But ultimately at the end of the day, my advice to anyone that's going to do this is just focus on the journey and have fun while you do it. Growing up, I was always pretty much the same. Like, always willing to talk to everybody, always willing to help new people out or make people feel welcome wherever I was, wherever I was at. I even, I won homecoming king my senior year in high school, and I didn't play football. And then where I come from, that's like a big deal. South Texas, little town, you gotta play football, and to not play football and still be able to get that, noticed by my peers like that. I guess that kind of really shot me in the right direction of where I am now. I mean, I don't know. I just love talking to people. I love being around and meeting people and making sure everybody's having a good time. So, yeah, I guess I could say it's been my life the entire time. Yeah. The amount of traveling and that I've done in the past year and a half is just beyond what I've done almost my whole life, really. I used to try to travel a lot when I was younger, and kind of got away from that, and then realized, I miss it, and then having this opportunity to go to different tournaments, and after, in the beginning, when you start meeting people and meeting owners of different venues from all over, and then you get invited to these different tournaments and stuff, it's really opened up that opportunity for me to just be able to see many places that I never would have really probably thought to see before. Yeah, we do have a close group in Denver, and I think we have that group is because for the longest time, really up until now, we only had one axe facility in Denver for the really, and it was ours. And so, not a big community there out there as like you know where you go to like Philly or Toronto where there's axe houses everywhere. You know, that group of people that come together. You know, it's funny you say that just because we're all actually very different, but the axe throwing kind of combines a little bit of like your people who are interested in like Viking stuff, you know, weapons, you know, there's certain type of people that are real involved in like the weaponry of ancient ways and things, and then there's also you add the sport of it, and that brings a little more of competitive people, sporty, you know, group-oriented game type of things, you know, and like for example, myself, Benjamin Edgington, and Tobias Massera, three very different guys, but at the same time we were, you know, very, very, very good friends, and we get along, and it was all because of this. You know, it's maybe hard to say that if I saw them out somewhere else, of course, me being me, I would probably still make friendships, strike up a friendship, but it definitely, I don't think, would have been as intense and as close as it is, you know, without axe throwing being a part of that. And so, like I said, it combines the weaponry, a sport, you know, and then you do, even though it is an individual-based sport, you know, now they're incorporating the duels, and then I think, you know, maybe in the future more of a team thing, and you know, people start to come together, Denver versus, you know, Philly, or Philly versus Toronto, even though that's not official. It's just like people kind of come together and form their own kind of teams anyway. But at the end of the day, it's still everyone's one big team. You're gonna see a lot of the footage from this weekend where, you know, we talked about how everyone is just hugging and hugging and hugging. So, you know, even people that I just met, you know, you talk with them, you kind of know their name, maybe from like online. Oh, this, you know, I've seen that guy's video, or oh, I've seen his name on the rankings. And then you meet in person, and oh, hi, I'm Eric. I'm so and so, and within 5-10 minutes, you already feel like your family. And oh, if you ever need a place to stay, you're with me. You can stay with me. You know, and that's what I really, really love about this whole thing. You know, winning tournaments and all these different things is obviously great, but the friendships and basically the family that really comes along with this, and it could be anybody. Perfect example right there. But you know, the really the family and the love that everyone has for each other is just unreal, and the energy that you get at these big tournaments where everyone comes together. It's just a feeling that I can't explain in words. You know, you have to experience for yourself. Just that love and respect for one another, and the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the family, you know, it really blows my mind. It takes my breath away, and it makes me smile. It makes me happy. So you know, I've made so many, you know, I feel now lifelong friends because of this, you know, through axe throwing community. So.